All right, welcome to another beautiful day. It's nice and sunny out, and I'm glad to be working with you on lesson 37. Now, lesson 37 is just about what we've been working on. And for those of you not with us and just want to know some cool things, what we did was I used a Blooket to find a famous artwork with our students. So they had to report with a picture of their famous art. Maybe they found it around town and they snapped a picture with their camera, in which case they'll go to lesson 35 and they will use Google images whatever that is and just Google images, and you'll see a way to reverse search for what that artwork is, if it is indeed famous. And then it's going to give you an AI answer of what the name of the artwork is, who the artist is that did it. And then I do ask that while it's still up there and you still have it, you just say, what artist movement does it come from? And so we're trying to recognize patterns and similarities in art movements. Okay, so once we did that, then we used an app called Paint 3D to copy and paste that image. And then we were going to put our own, like change it up a little. So this way, when you drop a picture into that blank empty white canvas, it's not so scary on Paint 3D. And then I wanted every one of those tools to try it out. If you didn't like it, you could go and hit the undo button, and you were supposed to submit an artwork to me using Paint 3D, where your artwork in the background, it started out that favorite artwork that you loved, all right? And then you did stuff on top of it. And you could add images with the 3D images to it. You could even save it. And I want to go right now to what I saved, to this part. All right. Maybe it's going to go right to it. All right. So let's take a look. I saved it on video, which does chew up a lot of your space. And as you can see, it was working and then it stopped working. But this is Starry, Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh, and then Miss K saved it as a video, which it will not slow down for you. But what my goal is to be able to look at this image and then draw it on a piece of paper. All right, so that is what my plan is, to take the 3D image and add it to a piece of paper. Okay, I've also included the principles of design just to help you think as you're creating this artwork, like, do I need to, you want to use some of these things to make your artwork better. I have chosen to use Artist Pastels. They're chalky. And then I have a piece of paper. Now, I don't have a piece of paper of my favorite color, and if anybody knows me, teal is my favorite color. So I'm going to use this, as well as you need something to write your name at the bottom, and then just put what grade you're in, whatever grade you're in, and actually write your last name, whatever your last name is. All right, so now I'm going to bring up on the screen. This is going to be interesting, isn't it, friends? Because I need to look at the artwork that I have saved that sort of stopped working here. Let's take a look and see. All right, and so as you can see, it's moving. I saved it as a video. I want you to pause it where you like it. All right, and then let's see if I can make this any bigger. Yeah, I can make it a little bit bigger. All right. And so I'm looking at my Paint 3D art that has Starry, Starry Night in the background, and then I went ahead and I added a sun. I added sunshine colors. I even doubled it a little just to extend it so it didn't have the exact same composition as Vincent van Gogh did. Uh, because Vincent van Gogh has been dead for more than 70 years, there isn't a copyright on, like, he's not going to sue me for using this. So I just suggest if you are doing this, try to find an artwork that is over 70 years old so that, you know, I don't want your art to get famous and then, well, I would like you to get famous if you're trying to do art, but don't get in trouble with that. So I have added a little canoe here as well as this 3D little tubular artwork. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, because my paper is the wrong color, well, it is the right color in some, about halfway down, I am going to add in, and I realize I am not using the right kind of marker. All right. Now, I want you to know that chalk is forgiving. What do you mean by that, Miss Kay? I just mean that chalk is going to let me go over, so I don't have to really worry about where I put this. I am trying to find the spots that I used my favorite color, teal. All right. And also it's watery, so I can add these lines without really worrying about it. And then I'm not going to really add maybe I'll just add the church. Church means a lot to me, so I'll do the church, but I'm not going to do anything else. All right. And maybe I'll just do it a little different, just color it all in. All right. So I have the water there. I'm trying to think, I might need it extended. All right, so as you can see, just do something on an app, and then we're bringing it back home to something. Now that we have it on Paint 3D, we're able to make something on a piece of paper that's not so scary, I guess to say, if you're worried about starting something. And so I see there is black on my artwork. Black chalk is the last thing you want to use. All right, so I'm going to put this over here. Not allowed to touch it. If you have a black, do that too. If you're using chalk, you don't have to use chalk. You can use whatever art supplies you want. All right, so I should have brought a pencil to draw in my little boat there. All right, but I want you to see how this works. All right, I'm going to just lay out the colors that I want to continue to use. All right, and let's see. And honestly, I'll probably end up, just because there's no red in the artwork that I have there doesn't mean there can't be red in yours. All right, so you're the artist, you decide. Okay. All right, and at the end of the day, I think I'm just going to be using everything. Well, maybe not all of them. All right, not all of them. Okay, so let's get started. So also with chalk, you want to work from top down. You also want to pull up your sleeves. All right, so you don't get chalk on them, and that's just for chalk or any messy paint too. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with my lightest color. All right, and I have a piece of construction paper. You can use construction paper, you don't have to. I just like it because it's not so scary white. All right, and plus you can use white. All right, so I'm just, once I get into that water, I'm just doing a little zigzags. All right, and maybe to balance it out, I'm going to do not spaced out perfectly, and also the circles. All right, and this allows me, I'm using my art as a guide, but I'm still the artist. I can still do whatever I want. All right, so I've used some white. I'm going to add a little bit of reflection. Whether or not I need it, I haven't decided yet. Right, so I'm going to put the white down. Now I'm going to make it sunshine. You don't always have to put your sun in the middle. You don't always have to make your sun big. Don't make your sun with sun rays. Leave the dust there if you are doing it. Let's see. And this is sun. I wanted a sunset. All right. So maybe, let's see. I'm thinking on my feet. Usually you like to think without talking, but I'm just making that horizon line just so I know where it's at. But actually, once I get the black, we're making that, it almost looks like a mountain ridge here. All right. So I'm going, and the yellow, I'm going to add in some of the yellow just to sort of get rid of this green, because really the sky, I wasn't really thinking about that. And also look at that. All right. Sometimes your chalk is dirty. Sometimes you need to clean it off. All right. So do a little cleaning off of that so that you don't end up with that. All right. And then I'm just going to go across, because it's all going to be warm colors in the sky. So I'm not worried about messing anything up. And even the black chalk will be okay. You can use your finger to sort of get rid of that green, right? And again, this is called pastels. And this is what it looks like, Sargent Art Pastels. And they're chalky, they're dusty, they're dirty. So if you're one of my artists that don't like maybe the texture, if you don't like listening to what I just shared with, clean it off, Miss Kay. Maybe chalk is not for you. Maybe you don't even like that sound, because some people are sensitive to sound. And I really like how that looks. All right. So, and if you are seeing, we're learning about different artists. This reminds me of Jacob Turner. His last name's Turner. And if you go look for Turner, you will see this. It just looks like fire in the sky. I'm going to go over it again a little darker in some spots. And Miss Kay, you're not staying the same as you are. Again, you don't have to stay the same as you are. All right. And so we've got the sun. All right. Maybe I want to ignore that. Maybe I'm just saying ignore that sound. All right, so I'm just going over that sun again. Who knows? Maybe I'll change the color of my sun. All right. So, and I just want you to have fun. That's the main thing. Just enjoying yourself, enjoying this time on Earth. So please, please, please don't be so stressed out if you decide you don't like this artwork. I don't know if I'm going to like this or not. I've never practiced this. So just have fun with me, okay? All right, so I'm smudging. And I'm not really looking at directions like how you're supposed to make a sunset. I'm just sort of having fun with it. All right. And okay. And I'm looking in my window and I see that I like it better in the computer screen than I do here. All right, at some point you might need to dump the dust, but remember, sky will reflect in the water, so you probably could and notice I already got rid of those white cloud images, which I'm fine with. All right, I see that I sort of lost this. You don't want to go back. No marker, Mr. Marker is going to not live very long if you put him inside of chalk pastel. So I'm done with this. I'm putting it away. All right, you can, if you want to, use a colored pencil or use a pen or whatever. Sometimes, though, if you ever look on buildings at the golden hour, that gold reflects on your building. So don't be so stressed if, oh, I ruined the building. No, you didn't. Okay? All right. So next, we have to reflect what we see. All right. And so I don't want to reflect too much because I like my favorite color. And so I'm just going to add little bits of it, and little is better than too much. All right. And then the sun, just sort of go like that for the sun. All right. And then if you're touching other colors, just make sure your finger is the color that you're trying to smudge with. And smearing or smudging, same thing. All right, now I have, what am I doing? I am going to add some white. All right, and then just spread it. And I also, with lines, I like to go small and then another line longer next to it, and then maybe going backwards. All right, I realize I'm going to have that black area, so that's why I'm sort of staying away from that. All right, so, and I stay horizontal. Reflections, the little lines are going to be horizontal unless it's a big wave. All right, mine's sort of a calm kind of feel. All right, I'm looking now. I'm going to go ahead and notice I've started with white and then yellow. I'm going light to dark, sort of top to bottom. Okay, that's sort of the plan I do with every chalk artwork. All right, so I'm going to just go to this edge and make sure I have the dark added. Because what I'm doing is I'm adding different values. Blue is a dark value, and like the warm colors are lighter values. All right, so notice there's a lot over here, a lot of lines, and then less lines. Make sure you still can see your name. All right, and then what? I think we still, and I just keep looking at my artwork, and I think I like those rolling mountains. So now I'm going to sort of really pay attention. I'm doing a blind contour drawing, and that just means I stared at my artwork. I didn't even stare at this artwork. I stared at my Paint 3D artwork. All right, and so now I'm going and just adding some more color to that mountain. All right, again, this is make-believe. This isn't real, and I'm just having fun with it. And I hope you're having fun too. All right, so let's see. Do I want this color? Because the marker is sort of lighter, so maybe I'll add some of this. Right, and I'm liking it in the reflection. I actually really like this light. So let's just see. Maybe I won't do the black thing, although I really thought it would add contrast. Contrast is when you have something really dark next to something really light. All right, I'm trying not to too much go over. All right, I don't like how liney, like everything stops right there, so I'm just going to add some more of the darker to try to get rid of that. All right, And I'm looking in the picture, and I like it. It looks very impressionistic. And when you're all done for all the other colors, now you're probably like, Miss Kay, aren't you going to add that canoe? I don't know. I wanted to I think it's cool for the Paint 3D, but I think this is so far away from Starry Starry Night that, I'm good. All right. So we've got the sun hitting sort of the left side of our church here. So on my left side, and I am using black because now I'm ready for that. Okay. And then on the other side, I'm going to use the yellow. Now you got to be careful because you're going to end up with those two colors. Like, I'm not even going to touch that anymore. All right. Now I'm going to try to create this sunset looking like island, maybe like we're out in the water. And I'm going to make this come closer to us. I wanted to really make that tube thing, but I don't know if I'm going to get to, because chalk is really, really dirty. All right, now I'm really paying attention to these lines right here and adding. So I did a lot and then I did a little less. All right, I really wish I had this color, but I don't. And then I need to make it more black because if you've ever been during a sunset, everything like here in the picture is like black. And then closer to the sun, it's a little lighter. All right, so I'm just going to, I'm liking that. Now you might think balance. So maybe over here, I'm going to put a little something that looks like a little mountain or a little piece of land, a little island. Okay. So I'm going to make this a little higher. And then you also have the reflection. Okay. So make a little bit of a reflection. And then now here's the trouble. You really can't go back without stopping and washing your hand once you hold that black in your hand. I'm not going to go in that sky anymore. All right, but I do know I wanted more warm reflections in the down here, So I'm going to show you what you could do for that. All right, so notice as you get closer, as we've learned background, middle ground, foreground, we're getting closer to us. So big, like to small. All right, hopefully it's going to stay with us here. I'm going to use my paper. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, look at that. Oh, I lost okay. Well, you know what? We don't really need that anymore. I'm good with that. We lost the connection to my meeting, so you could see sharing the screen. Okay, so if your hands are black and you don't have water available, you can add. Now, the only trouble with this is I am not going to be able to blend it, right? All right, so there is some orange, and so you want, let's see if I can do this. Yellow, break up the line to reflect that yellow, and then orange to reflect that orange. All right, and the sun still is there, but I'm just going to go over it again. That's the thing with pastel. Sometimes you need to go over it a whole bunch of times. And then if I tell you a little fun trick, you might have to go over it 10 more times, but it is so worth it. What is it, Miss Kay? It is hairspray. All right. Hairspray will grip this pastel in place, and then also create a very rough texture. If you spray it, it's going to get dark, and then as it dries, you sometimes need to go back into it and do it all over, so it might be too much for you to handle. But if that doesn't bother you, spray it with the aerosol spray, and then you'll be like, oh, I got to do that again. And then you do it again, and then you might repeat that process many times. All right, I am using my fingers. That I just want you to know, when you blend that orange with that blue, you're going to get brown. All right, I don't think I really done that. I'm trying to really pull some brilliant color down here, but I'm trying to wrap this up because I realize you're probably watching this video going, come on already, Miss Kay. But I just want you to have fun. All right, just have fun. I think I'm going to leave it just like that. All right, and to me, this looks like Impressionism, which is sort of like, and that's okay. Even if I went from Impressionism to abstract, it is okay. So Miss Kay has to wash her hands. Make sure when you are done with your work that you clean up your area, and you definitely do not drop that black chalk on the floor. Ooh, Mama's gonna be very upset with you if you don't pick that up. All right, because it crunches and then it stains sometimes. So yeah, all right, so make sure you put that away, and then make sure you have put your other art supplies away. If you are done with this, throw this out. Like, I wouldn't keep this unless you're like, ooh, that looks sort of cool, I want to make an abstract artwork. But just remember, one of the main things, I did not make my sun have the sun rays, okay? I just went around it with the orange, and it's standing as is. I'm going to throw this out. I didn't even look at it, but if you need to use it, you can. Just checking, hold on, just double checking. Did I use variety? Yes, I used a variety of colors to make it interesting. Did I balance it out? Yes, I had some black and I balanced it out over here. Does it have rhythm? Yes, I repeated these lines. All right, and then there's a soft texture floaty going on up at the top. That's element. Then there is movement because there's lines in the water. Emphasis. The emphasis is either the sun or this church shape. Unity, because I repeat the colors in the sky, in the ground, it sort of unifies the whole thing. Contrast, extreme dark next to extreme light. I did that right there to sort of really look at, to really make it stand out, whatever that is. All right. Maybe I should have gone over it later, but I'm not going to be too picky with you. So I hope you enjoyed making an artwork on your own from your Paint 3D artwork. I look forward to seeing it, and just remember, friends, how much different it went. And you're the artist, you decide how it ends up. I just hope you have fun and you make a cool artwork. Love you guys. Bye.